everybody. Welcome to the BizFuel Podcast. I am your host, Eric Godoy, the founder of BizFuel. We have our guest on today, Viviana Gago Gonzalez. Hello, Viviana. Thank you for
Hi.
being our guest today. Viviana is this incredible business owner of the Sana Yoga Studio business. And today she was nice enough to come in here to spend a little bit of time with us to talk about what it's like to be the owner of her business, what it's like to be an entrepreneur. You know, everybody, this podcast is for you. It's for Viviana. It's for me. It's really about what can possibly help us to fuel our business, to stay centered, motivated, and give back to the world. So, Viviana, can we dive right into it?
Sure, let's do it.
Because my understanding with your yoga studio, you now have two yoga studios that you've opened up within the last, what, year?
Year and a half,
A
yeah.
year and a half. Okay, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
So let's start out with a little bit of basics. Like, what inspired you to get into the business?
So I've practiced yoga, I've practiced all styles, and there was this one style that I started to practice, Baptiste, and I really liked the way I felt. I had just had a baby and my second baby. I have two kids. And as a woman, I felt very blah, and this practice started to ignite something inside of me. I felt powerful. I felt like sexy. I felt like I was like, wow, I can't believe what my body can do. Even after having a kid, and I started to practice almost every day, and I started to really like the way I felt. And not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, I started to notice that I started to slowly get rid of stuff that wasn't really serving me anymore. I wasn't really getting that angry at the little things. I started to just really not care about the little things and really focus on the bigger picture. And at the same time, in that journey, I started to notice what was missing in my eyes in a yoga studio. And everyone has their own style. Business owners have their vision. And I had a vision of colors and music. I'm really, really big on music. As you know, I really focus on my playlist. And I felt that when I practiced with music that I love, it made me more connected to myself. It brought up memories, it brought up past, anything in the past. I started to feel like, wow, I was like, it feels so nice to move to reggae, to reggaeton, to hip hop, to 90s. Like, and I was like, if I feel like this, I'm pretty sure other people will feel like this too. So it's a long journey that I'm on. And that's what really inspired me, really seeing, I felt what was missing in other places. And I felt like I was hiding who I was when I started to become a teacher. Like I felt like I, and that's on me, that's on me to not be my true authentic self. I felt like I was like, well, I'm a thick Spanish girl. And all these places, I felt like I didn't fit in. Like I was like, but that's on me. That's not on anybody else. I felt like I wasn't being, how do you say, like pushed to really show myself. And sometimes when I would in like my trainings, I felt like it was like frowned upon, like the cursing, the music, the
So the
loud.
authenticity of like who you are,
Me.
of
Yes.
you. So you like, so that's inspiring. You went from this like personal journey in the beginning. We're just exploring this because you said you weren't feeling so great about yourself, and then you start transforming personally, and then you start seeing how to help give that to other people through this business that you're developing. But you, like, I'm hearing you, like we're all hearing you. But you chose to do it in an authentic way that worked for you in your
Yes.
business, and now you have two studios that you decided to choose to have this authenticity for your style and give it out to the world. It's almost like you're saying to give people permission to be themselves. It took you a little bit to get to for you to give permission to be to yourself in your business. That's what you're saying?
Yes. It took me a few years to really give myself permission to show who I am, to show what I want for people, what I want in a community. I want community. I encourage people. I encourage my teachers. That's really big. I encourage my teachers to keep it real. It's on my wall in my second studio. Keep it real and I let the
Let's
shit
go. No,
go.
let's go through it. There's a key word that you own that is yours, and you've got to get that trademark. So
I'm
what is it?
trying. I'm
Say it.
trying.
No, say it. What is it? We all need to hear. The audience needs to hear. What is it?
Let that shit go.
Let that shit go. So tell me a little bit more
It's in my
about that,
look.
right? Like,
This is
let's see
my
it.
shirt. I'm wearing my shirt.
Let that shit go. So it sounds like following your lead. You go start practicing yoga, open up a business. You've almost got some little bit of like hesitation on how you're operating, and then you let that shit go to just flow. And now you're sharing the same message in your business
Exactly.
for people to like let that shit go. So what does that actually mean? Like, to you and for other people to hear the deepest part of like who they are. Like that's your trademark. What does let that shit go really mean for somebody? If they were listening, people that are listening today, what can you offer them?
It means that if whatever you want to do and you feel like there's something getting in the way, what you think other people may think by you doing what you want to do, you gotta let that shit go. Because if not, you're not going to be your true self. And people appreciate the authenticity. People appreciate vulnerability. They appreciate you keeping it real. And because you never know what you're saying is hitting with somebody. You know, there's a lot of like how do you say, like stuck upness and all over the place, not just in yoga but everywhere, and people don't want to go because of that. They don't feel welcomed, and me and my instructors were totally not like that. We're like, yo, come
So
as you
come.
are.
So now like, get like, so we're talking about this amazing, business, your Sana yoga studio business where you're leading from the heart, having your instructors lead from the heart. And for everybody listening to this podcast, leading from the heart and doing this business has allowed you to stand out, to feel really like energized, to fuel your business for you, but to fuel bringing in people that resonates with, that they like, that to let that shit go and they come in and everything you offer. They're really enjoying that. So, taking like a little bit of step back because these pieces are all making sense, right? You're going out there, you're crushing it, you're creating this beautiful business for people to come to in the yoga studio to get healthy, but it's a business and you're also an entrepreneur. So giving you credit during this, you have this balance of going on. So where does the name Sana Yoga come from? Where does the name Sana come? Where's that name of that business come from?
So sana means to heal in Spanish. And for me, when thinking of a name, I'm very into my roots. I'm from Chile, and I love growing up here with a Latin background. My parents raised me up super Chilena, and sana means to heal. And growing up in the Latin community, when you're a kid and you get hurt, right? The mom, the grandmother, they would always like tap your wound and say, and it's like a healing phrase that means to
Oh.
heal. It does not make sense in English. In English, it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
heal,
that's
heal,
awesome.
frog's
Yeah.
tail. Like, but in Spanish, it's like all magic, you know? Once, and for me, like with the studio, it's not just a place to come do yoga, it's community. As I said, I'm really big on community and healing with spirituality, healing in letting that shit go, not just physically, but mentally. And the more time you take doing that, the more permission you give yourself to let go, the more space you create in your body and your mind to welcome in beautiful, dope ass shit.
It's awesome. Okay, you're allowed. That's okay. Listen, you're good. You're in your studio right now. This is your space. What you're sharing it's what you're about in your business. And so like, it sounds like some of the things you're saying, but I'd love to hear a little bit more of like your strategy for your business, right? Because you go and you're doing well, you're successful. That's inspiring. You're helping people in your business to heal, like that sauna part you're bringing to them. That's a beautiful message that you're sharing with people right now. And part of your strategy to help people to let that shit go in your business, like, and to give them permission, is drawing them in as customers, and knowing that you're saying like the name Sana is to heal, and you're on a mission to help people know they can heal and through your business. So what other strategies have contributed to your business growth? Again, you're here to share with any other entrepreneurs that are listening today, or people that want to start a business, or maybe they're stuck. What other strategies did you implement to grow your business that you can think of?
Number one thing is to just go for it. Financially, luckily for my first one, it fell onto my lap and I was ready for it. I had been looking for 3 years for a space. I gave up. I was like, this is not for me. And then I went to Chile, one of my last trips, and I saw my brother doing really well with his wife, opening 3, 4 businesses in their field. And I was like, how do you do that? And he's like, we just did it. We did it. And yeah, it's hard, but just do it. And I came back and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start looking. And I said it in April. That trip was in April 2023. And I found this number one Sana Yoga New Providence fell onto my lap May 2023. And I walked into the space and I was like, this is mine. And I just felt it. It was right. I was trying to push other places around my area where I live, and everything just fell through. Nothing was working. And that's why I gave up. And I kept saying, when the time is right, it will come. And it did. And the same thing with Sana Yoga Union. I didn't even force anything, like everything just fell into place. My advice is to just go for it. Do the things you have to do financially, whether it's taking out a loan or, minimizing, not minimizing, just putting stuff in the back burner that you don't need right now, and really focusing on what you do need. For me, it was the art. I need a space where the art is beautiful, where people walk in and they're like, wow, just really what works for you, what you need as a business to stand out, and keep it real. Like, not just by what other people are doing, but what feels good to you, what feels like the right thing to do.
And the right thing to do. So basically, wow. So that message you're giving, that's a whole lot, right? Unwrapping that for 2 seconds, going from wanting to start this business, not finding a right space for yourself, talking about giving up, but it sounds like you never gave up. And then you go to visit family in Chile, and you just see them doing it, and inspired you, and like something clicked, like, I can do this. And then next, you find a space that comes to you. And next, you have 2 within a short period of time, because you've learned to just get past that threshold of whatever, maybe a limited belief in your head, right? We all have it in business, without a limited belief. But you said something really important to stand out for our listeners, right? Is that you stepping into the studio, you also said something very practical about stepping in the financial part. Like, do what you got to do. But then I heard you say, like, prioritizing what is, like, how you're allocating your money. In your option, you said, the artwork's important. So we're going to put the money in that budget into that, and not other things that might not serve for who we are. So that's a great messaging that you're sharing, to say, like, put in front of you what you think is like the greatest return for your soul, for your business, for your brand, right? I got it, right? It's your brand, right? The art is your brand. I've seen your studios. I practice at your studios, but basically, the artwork is beautiful. It's well thought out. It's everywhere. It's the brand of the studio, which I've never seen anywhere else. So for you to share that is a really important tip, to not give everything that the world wants, but give what you know is best for your business. That's what you're saying, to know that you're going to believe in it and grow, and spend the money on that, not what you think everybody wants, right? You could have done a lot of other things in that studio to be like other studios, but you were brave enough and had enough courage to not do it, and take a chance of doing this incredible artwork in this place. We got to post pictures somewhere and figure out how to do that.
Yes.
Or the link, following your Sana Yoga links. The artwork is incredible.
Yes, Brianna McMaster is my artist, and I told her what I want, and we worked together, and she would put something out and I would put something like my ideas and she made it come to life. And you have to do what makes you stand out.
Yeah, incredible. And your studio does stand out. So you made that part that you've found the beauty of that artwork and said, this is my brand, this is my business, and you went for it. You just did that too with the money, and you said, we're gonna, from the upfront, we're gonna invest in that and not anything else, because I know that'll be us. And incredible, it worked, right? You're here a year and a half later, you have 2 studios that are your brand and your label and representing, and you have your, what do we call them? Clients that come in, we're gonna call them clients, yoga
Yeah.
practitioners, like your
Yeah.
friends, right?
Yogis.
Yeah, your yogis come in and help create a beautiful community, but you're also a business person that is contributing to the business community because you're doing well, and but
Yeah.
you're giving people a service that they're willing to pay for because the return is incredible. So
Can
those
I add
things,
one more thing?
of course, please, you're here to
Yes.
share with everybody.
You have to, for me, it's really important to create the relationships with the yogis that come in. Why are you here? Why are you stepping into sana? Why do you keep coming back? Like, what is it that you love about us? What is it that you're looking for in community? And I'm friends with so many of the yogis that come in. We text each other all day long. Like, you have to really create authentic relationships and get to know them. And, when somebody doesn't come in for like 2 weeks, who comes every day, I check in on them. Hey, are you okay? Like, is everything all right? And oh no, there's so much going on, basketball, everyone's sick. And it's okay, I'm just checking in. I want to make sure you're good. And be authentic with it, like really care. And I really care about everybody that steps in.
That's incredible. So you're building that. You're making sure your culture of your business is truly connecting with the yogis that come in to show that you care. Because Sana, your messaging and what the business is about, you truly have your culture expressing that at all times, and you let that come through. But it also sounds like you have a real great business sense that you're asking for a little bit of feedback from them, like how's it going and what's going on in the studio. So you're actually getting real-time feedback how the business is working for people that are coming and the yogis that are coming. And then like from that, if you're getting feedback, are you making adjustments? What's happening there as you're welcoming your yogis and getting this connection? They're giving you real feedback about your business, right? What happens
Yes.
there? How do you take that feedback, and how does it work for your business to receive that? What's next?
So I get the feedback from people and their favorite classes, or, like, I really like this instructor. And I'm like, okay, let's see if she has availability to get on another class. And most of the time they do, and it just helps bring more community in and having the client be happy with, different format of the class, and just being able to see their favorite teacher because they can't go another day, and this is the time that works for them. And I like to, just with the instructors, I'm your butt fell.
Okay, hi.
These never fit my ear. They always
I
fall
don't
out.
think any of them do. Mine fall out too. I get it.
No,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm really big. I'm close to all my instructors. I care about how they feel, and I want the clients to feel happy, and I want my instructors to feel happy in stepping into sana. And I really care about everybody.
So really, like the messaging here for like all of us to receive is that, and if I could share a story with you, like when I got into business many, many years ago, and you seem to do the same thing. So I want to share it with you if that's okay in the audience, is that my dad said, never worry about the money. Do the right things first, and the money will just follow. And don't worry about the money; it'll work itself out. And you have an incredible story and message where you are about your yogis, you're about your instructors, you're about the beauty of your studio, and you do follow up and do the responsible things about the business after, but you're not worried about chasing the money or doing all that. You're just worried about contributing and your business being important in helping people's lives. And then you have 2 businesses, so it's prospering and it's working. And I'm pointing this out for everybody because your messaging is beautiful, and it's an opportunity for somebody who's looking to go into business to give themselves permission to not worry about the money first. It'll work itself out. Do what you
Yes.
believe in your heart and do the right things that you're giving us permission today to do, to follow your authenticity and to go ahead and be real, right? Follow your heart. This is beautiful messaging for anybody out there, any of our listeners who might be struggling at a point in their business or have doubts and fears. You've come out and you have gone on the other side of those. So, some of these things you're incredible with running your business. You also instruct, you have your instructors. Quick tips. We could always use some quick tips. How do you manage to balance your life and your business life and your personal life? Like, we all know it's a juggling act and it's practice, but what do you do to do that?
Luckily, I am so blessed. I have a really supportive husband and a really supportive mother-in-law. My mom, she's a snowbird. She goes to Chile, half the year. She goes back and forth, and she does help me though. But I'm really blessed with that, and they help me. And I set my boundaries. One of the biggest concerns as for my family was me not being home a lot when I decided to go and open the second studio. And I made it a point to be around. And if, there's a class, I am needed at home all the time, but mostly after school to bedtime, cooking, cleaning, sports, homework, all the things. So I only teach once a week in the evening. And I really make it a point to set my boundaries and not teach in the evenings, only on the weekends, because my kids are sleeping at that time. They're sleeping in. It's the weekend, so that's my time to step in and teach, and it's my favorite. I love teaching, so I really make it a point to be home, set my boundaries, and prioritize my family first and the business, and having a good team at Sana with my instructors who have my back. I have their back, and they take care of me. I take care of them by stepping in. If somebody's sick and they can't teach, another instructor will jump in and teach. And I'll say it, hey guys, I can't teach this week. I cannot, for instance, my husband's away this week on business. I can't step in and teach because I have to be with the fam. So they know to really step into all right, so I won't do that. Instead, I'll teach. So having a good supportive team, husband, family, that is
And all
really
so
important.
so and then you have this great support system, but you have a message you're giving right now, right? And it sounds like you have, you said it, setting those boundaries, right? As you are a business leader, you own your business, and it's wonderful to work in the business at the times you're instructing, but you also have this sense of responsibility for your community, to keep the studio alive, to keep your instructors, to keep the business going, that A, to work on the business, but B, to have the boundaries to be part of family, which fuels you too in your business. And so you're not jumping in right away to say, well, I've got to teach that class. You're taking a step back intelligently to say, let me talk to my instructors to see who I can get in there, which sounds like it's less stressful. So you're doing a really good job of making sure that you take care of all the important things that will help you to continue to stay energized, fueled, and not burn yourself out or fail the business, right? That's teaching, right? A lot of people a lot of owners burn themselves out because they think they need to do it all. And you're saying, I don't do it all. And you're okay with it. You're like, that's inspiring, to know that everybody can get to that point to say, I know I'm the business owner, but I don't have to do everything. I can call on my people. And you said it beautifully. I got their back, they got my back. And we just work it out, but knowing that you're not going to step in to take over. That's amazing. That's a great business insight for people. So we're going to get ready to wrap it up in a minute or two, right? So you've been incredible with all the things that you've shared with your journey of leading this business from the heart, starting it in a place that you were ready to give up, but you didn't give up. And you saw something from your family when you visited them that inspired you to just let it go and to do it. And letting that shit go has been such an important part of your business and your branding and your trademark, because I've seen that on the walls, that it is inspiring because it gives people permission to let it go. And here you are with this business that you've chosen to just be so authentic, beautiful artwork, beautiful messaging, community to help others to have Sana and to heal. and you also make money while you're doing it, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the best part about it, right? So like this has been an amazing episode of like Business Fuel, because I'm hoping that it has allowed all of our listeners, and it has inspired me to know that there's ways to fuel your business that are get away from the past, but get into the things like for you, if you had to say what fuels your business, if you had to give it up in a few words, what do you say if you want to give a message to somebody? And it's 2025, everybody, and the world is changing. Beauty's coming out. People are leading from their heart. They're doing things authentically. It matters. Your brand matters. If you can give a piece of advice to an entrepreneur today from where you are, what would that be about one message to an entrepreneur in business, starting a business ending? What message would you like to share?
I like to end class with placing my hand on my heart and the other one right on above of it. And I tell people to feel their heartbeat, to feel their power, their energy, and to protect it. Use that. That's the fuel I use for myself. I listen to myself and I manifest. I wish for, I ask for it. Ask for what you want. Keep asking for it. Live it as if you already have it and just chase it. Go for it. Because if you don't, then you'll never know.
That is a beautiful message, and thank you for sharing that with everybody listening. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put my hand on my heart, and I am going to thank you so much, Viviana, for being our guest today and showing us the background of your beautiful Sana Yoga studio, and for giving us all these beautiful insights about business and running it authentically and just go out and doing it. So thank you so much. We look forward to getting this out to everybody and everybody listening. Eric Godoy, BizFuel, what it takes to fuel your business today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.